Coming up on episode 11 of the Nevada Patriot Podcast, Reva Braun with KIWANIS Club of Pahrump Valley. Kettlebell ringing about to begin in Pahrump. Stick with us.
Attention Southern Nevadans. Turn up that dial for some real talk about the issues that matter to us. From some of our valley's local leaders, business owners, and even the occasional elected official. Airing now on incredibly intelligent local radio stations and streaming worldwide at thenevadapatriot.com. Welcome to the Nevada Patriot Podcast with Matt Sadler.
Welcome to the Nevada Patriot Podcast with Matt Sadler. I'm your host, Matt Sadler, in the DJ Sound studio with me today, and representing the KIWANIS Club of Pahrump Valley, we have my good friend, Reva Braun. I'm excited to be speaking with you today, and welcome to the show, Reva.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Now, it's really impossible for me to say that you're representing only KIWANIS because you are involved in so many vital groups in our community. So please let our listeners know about KIWANIS, the organization, and a little about yourself.
So KIWANIS is an international organization, and we are throughout not only the United States, but throughout the world. And we are here to serve the children, one child, one community at a time.
Yeah. You guys do well.
Yeah, I've been with them 15 years now, and it's strange how I got to this point with KIWANIS, because when I moved from New York, I knew no one, and I was a Key Club advisor in New York, and they all made me join KIWANIS out here, so they knew I knew somebody.
Yeah.
That someone would be out here to take care of me.
Yeah, so that the two organizations are kind of linked, especially in our community. I know the Key Club and KIWANIS kind of work hand in hand. Do you want to kind of let our audience know a little bit how that works, or what's the role, how the roles kind of intersect?
Key Club is one of our SLP, Service Leadership Program, and KIWANIS sponsors 4 different levels. We have an elementary program, and we have 3 different programs on the elementary level. Terrific Kids, Bringing Up Your Grades, and K-Kids. Then we have a middle school program, and it's called Builders Club, and we just closed our Builders Club this year, unfortunately, because we didn't have an advisor.
Oh.
And then we have Key Club, which is high school, and it's open to any child in the high school. Grades do not matter. And then we have the college level, which is our Circle K, and we are at UNLV. And then we have a very unique group called Action Club, which is young adults with disabilities.
Oh.
And we used to sponsor one out here, and because the advisors couldn't get along, we had to close that one down.
Oh.
But I'm looking forward to opening another program, well, one of the new SLPs, and I just don't know. It'll probably be a Terrific Kids, probably, because I'm going to work at J.G. Johnson with them.
Nice. Yeah, we just recently were at the event this past, I forget, I'm bad with my days, but the bingo over at J.G. Johnson. Did you want to tell the audience a little bit about that event? And I know it was exciting. I won the best prize there, so I'm pretty fired up.
I am jealous of the prize you won. I would fall off and break something, but I'm very jealous about what you won. So bingo was interesting to come about because we was busy doing something else, and the staff pulled it together. Yeah. It was a fun night, and the happiest moment we had with that, it was family oriented, and we don't see too many events or organizations out here that do family kind of fun things anymore. It's either you're doing a child event or a grown-up event, and we don't cross paths to family. And that was truly a family event where the children and parents sat together, and they all had a good time, and they laughed, and they won great prizes like you did. And it was competitive. People were paying strict attention to what they were doing. They weren't gossiping and talking, and
there was lots of slow clapping, and then some groaning when some of the good prizes were taken off the table. But
yes,
I think that's in the future events like that KIWANIS is a part of. If you ever want to let me know, and even on the station that we're on right now, 97.7 this week, we'll be happy to drop plugs and because it was a large event, but we probably could have had a few more people at the tables, but it was pretty lively.
Okay, so
I'd like to fill those up.
Yeah, so would I, but I think we're trying to keep it within the J.G. Johnson community and not open to all the schools.
Sure.
So from my understanding, each elementary school is doing their own set of programs. So Hafen, it was Hafen, did a bingo night the week before.
Oh, okay.
And then they are doing I think Breakfast with Santa either the week before us or the week after. But on December 10th, we are doing Breakfast with Santa. So somebody's cooking, not me. I don't know who's doing it. They have the griddle. They're going to have the griddle set up, and there'll be pancakes and I guess bacon and juice and coffee or whatever. And then you can go take pictures with Santa.
Yeah. And where is that going to be again?
At J.G. Johnson, right in that multi-purpose room.
Okay, good deal. All right, so switching gears a little bit and coming upon the holiday season here, we're right on Thanksgiving about. So tell us a little bit about the Salvation Army bell ringing campaign and what the role of Kiwanis is in that, and what are some of the needs maybe.
I'm not sure where I want to start first. So what Kiwanis' role is we used to only organize the afternoon session from 3 to 7, and we used to have all the high school clubs do it. Mm-hmm. And then they had a new chairman or a CEO come in on our property here, and he didn't know how to run anything. And he's a nice guy, do not get me wrong. He just couldn't figure out how to do this. So Dave and I sat down and said, well, let us attempt to do it.
Right.
And this is our third year running the program, and we totally run the whole program now. So we do all the volunteering schedule, we do all the sponsorships, we take the kettles out every morning, and then in the afternoon we pick them back up, and in the evening we pick up again. And we come out all day long and check on our volunteers to do that. And when we can't find a volunteer, it's come down to we have to pay someone. So we go out and look for separate money for that, and we call it sponsorship money. And we go to local companies, and for whatever the $100 they give us, they get 10 hours of advertisement. So when I go out to a sponsor, I say, take it out of your advertising budget because it's an advertisement. And on the kettle, it'll say, we have signs that say, this kettle is sponsored by. And as much money as you put in, we do $10 for every hour you 10 hours for every $10 you give us. A minimum's $100. Mm-hmm. And then we find someone in need of money for the holidays and hire them. Yeah. And so it's double. Somebody's getting blessed by getting some money for the holidays, and you're getting free advertisement. And Dave and I get to relax a little, so we don't have to stand out in the cold all day long and ring bells.
And that serves the purpose for and there's volunteers out there that line up to actually volunteer without having to be paid. So that's assuming we don't have enough people that want to just go volunteer their time. Then we kind of have to go that route.
I'm glad you said something about that, because we sent letters out to a lot of organizations, and Wells Fargo. Last year was the first year Wells Fargo didn't do it on a regular basis because of the pandemic. She didn't have enough staff. Jessica Garcia, who's the manager over there, called me a few weeks ago and said they would do every Tuesday for me, 9 to 3. Today, while I was food shopping, I got a call from Valley Electric saying they will do every Monday at Smith's. So it's great publicity for the local companies like that, because then the community sees that they're actually working and happy to be here. It makes our life easier. I don't have to find someone. I just have to cover 2 other doors that day. And it just works for everybody, because Valley Electric's happy, Wells Fargo's happy, Dave and I will be happy. So we have to cover Monday through Saturday 3 doors. Well, 2 at Walmart and 1 at Smith's. We have the opportunity to do Tractor Supply if and when we come up with extra volunteers. Gotcha. And that'll be a Saturday thing.
So how many hours between... not as great at math as I used to be. How many hours total does that mean that you have to have covered in a week? We cover
8. I just did this because I had to calculate it. 8 hours a day times 3, because remember there's 3 doors. Yeah. So I need 24 people every day if I do every hour.
So and you technically have 24 hours
and 6 days a week.
In a day, 6 times 6 days a week.
So even if I do 2 hours, that's still 12 people a day times 6, and a lot of people. And I don't have that many friends left anymore. They don't. They sort of avoid me at this point of year. Yeah. They all go hiding. I don't know where they go, but they go to hide from me. So, but again, we rather have a volunteer. Sure. But when we don't, then we will pay somebody to come ring for us.
Right. So I take it on the table now. You are still actively looking for volunteers as well as sponsors. Or in our case, we were kind of sponsors last year, but then we had fun doing some of the volunteering. So hopefully some of the businesses out there don't mind actually putting their own 2 feet in front of the kettle and ringing a bell like we did. It's actually pretty cool.
At this point, we have, and thank you, Matt, for really appreciate A-Hope coming out and doing whatever they do. We also have Marty's Jeweler coming on, and they're going to ring bells. There's new owners coming into that store, and I don't know. I guess I can tell you that within the next 6 months, there'll be new owners at Marty's Jewelers. And they're a very young couple, very involved in this community, and they're going to be ringing bells for us.
Yeah.
And whatever else they can do. Wells Fargo, I said, Valley Electric, and we're looking for other companies to come on board. But Dave and I calculated yesterday, we are at $1,400 in sponsorship, and our goal is $2,000.
Getting close.
So I'm coming knocking on doors, begging for that extra $600. And if we go over, we'll be happy, because then we'll have extra money just to make sure that we have enough food and services here for everyone in town.
So it's important also for our listeners to know that when they're donating through campaigns like the kettlebell, that the money is staying local. And, and with the sponsors coming alongside, it's reducing so much of the overhead to where this money really, it packs a punch.
Money does not leave this community. So with Salvation Army, our CEOs are not making six figures.
Right.
And anywhere does it come down to that big figure. Someone's making money somewhere along the line. Money raised here stays here. We have one person who runs Salvation Army out here, and I can tell you she's not making big bucks.
Right.
And even the Vegas are all done by core members, which means they belong to Salvation Corps, and their housing and their transportation is included in their salary, and they're not making big bucks either. So we're not in it for the money. The money raised goes back to services for people here.
Yeah, and I want to give a little bit of a pat on the back to KIWANIS and Salvation Army for the job that you did last year coming out of a pandemic, and for a back pat to the community at large as well, to you listeners and anyone who's helped donate. We had a really good amount of money come through last season, kind of defying reality and the odds after coming out of a pandemic, which I thought was fantastic. Did you want to
38,000 and change, which is a record breaker for us.
Yeah.
We were amazed, we were happy, we celebrated. And again, all the money stayed here for services.
Yeah.
And I think what I need to say is, yes, Salvation Army is open, because I get, where are you? You're not open anymore. Yes, we are open, and we are a food pantry, and we're located right behind Walmart and our old thrift store. So if you need food, we're open Tuesdays and Fridays, and come on by and get some food.
And what are the hours for that? The window
9 to 3.
Okay, so anywhere between 9 and 3.
Yes, and there's a Senior Citizens
Tuesdays
Day,
and
and I do not know when it is. So there's a special day for senior citizens that they can come by and they get extra food. I just don't know the day because I don't pay attention to that.
Gotcha. So if some people wanted to volunteer or see how they can plug in to start being bell ringers, or businesses that want to take advantage of sponsorship opportunities with the bell ringing campaign, what's the best way to reach you or to connect or to get on that?
775-727-0911. If I'm not there, leave a message and I will get it. Or come to a kettle and leave me a message at the kettle, because we come back and forth all day long to check and make sure our volunteers are okay. If they need coffee, if they need water, if they need a break for some reason. So Dave and I are around all day long.
Yeah, and you'll be there pretty much.
I will be there
even this Friday, right?
I will be there all day. I'm opening. I'm one of the first ringers.
Okay.
We put our money where our mouth is. We do not expect people to come out and ring bells and sit back and watch. Dave and I we're taking the first shift.
Yeah, and it's important that you guys as leaders or spearheads in this campaign, that you're not asking anybody to do something that you and Dave don't willingly do.
We also don't do that with Key Club. We don't expect our children to do anything that we will not do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
KIWANIS says the same thing. If I ask you to do something, if it's within my realm, then I will do it. If not, Dave will do it. But we're side by side wherever we go with whatever project. One of us is there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Shout out to Dave. Dave, you're awesome. If you're listening.
He is. He's moving somebody today. He's moving pool tables.
Yeah, he's never not doing something, right?
No. He's moving, somebody needed a pool table moved, he's moving a pool table today. Then he went to Key Club, and then he's gone back to finish moving the pool, take the pool table off the truck and put it wherever it's going.
Yeah, that does not sound fun. Thank you for not calling me, Dave, to help you with that. Appreciate that.
He didn't ask me either. He knew better than to ask me.
Well, we're gonna take a quick around a 2-minute break here. We're in studio with Reva Braun. Please stick around. We'll be back in just a moment. This Thursday at the Nye Communities Coalition, free Thanksgiving dinner being served, and our veterans are the guests of honor. Brought to you by Pahrump Holiday Task Force. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thanksgiving Day at 1020 East Wilson. Stay for a great meal and great musical entertainment. No cost to attend. Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Fundraiser dinner being held at the Artesia Community Center Saturday, December 17th. Tickets will go fast and are available now at Natural Vibes in the Mom's Diner Shopping Center on State Street. Entertainment by award-winning musical artist John Michael Ferrari, also featuring Sophie Love and DJ Sounds. Spaghetti dinner with gourmet meatballs will be served, and there will be a silent auction and a live auction. You don't want to miss it. Your help with this event will ensure no child sleeps on the floor in our town. Thank you. Veterans Crisis Line. Dial 988. Veterans Crisis Line. Dial 988, then press 1. Someone is available who cares. Someone is available who will listen. Someone is available who will help. Veterans Crisis Line, 988. And we're back. Thank you for sticking by with us here at the Nevada Patriot Podcast. Back in the DJ Sound studio, we have Reva Braun. And going back to what we first talked about, or I talked about, that you wear multiple hats, that you kind of have been involved in different organizations. Do you want to talk about some of the planning that's been going on for some other events coming up? I believe there's a junior high school rodeo we're hoping is happening, a Sleep in Heavenly Peace event coming up soon.
Yeah, let's go to high school rodeo. High school rodeo is February 18th and 19th here, right here in Pahrump. And it's open statewide to any middle school or high school student who wants to come ride. And it's the last event before state championships, I think. And it's a really fun event if you've never come out and watched high school kids come out and rodeo and do whatever they do with bronco busting.
Yeah.
But the interesting part about that is my teacher background has to come out on this. I deal with the high school students, and all day long we have to put your phones away or you're not dressed appropriate. When it comes to high school rodeo, these kids do not have their cell phones out, and they are totally dressed Western, and the most respectful kids and dedicated kids that I've ever met in my life. I'm thrilled to be working with Buddy in the high school rodeo.
Yeah, Buddy Krebs helps organize this event, and I was speaking to him at the Balloon Festival, and he's excited about pushing forward. I know there's some obstacles, different things like that can get cleared out of the way, as with any event. So I know he's plugging away, and he's got great people like you coming alongside of him, helping him out, and KIWANIS helping him out. And hopefully we get an opportunity to help him out this time around again. And I think that is a really neat event because you like to see the hard work of the kids paying off. And when you see the stands filled with people cheering and the kids out there performing, it's got to be kind of a surreal, awesome experience for those students.
It is, and it's just not Pahrump. So we go up and down the state, and you get kids coming in from Elko and Reno, and it's a camaraderie because they all have one thing in common. They love their horses and they love to ride.
Yep.
And being a rural town, you hear, I have nothing to do. This is the heart and soul of rural communities, of our horses and our farm life. And these kids are totally dedicated to riding and family issues and going out and doing their chores and making sure they're dressed properly. It's just an experience that being from New York, I never even knew what a horse looked like.
Yeah, right. That's kind of like the way of life out here sometimes in the West. And so as this event nears being finalized and all the particulars are coming back, I sure hope that maybe I can have you and maybe Buddy in the studio, and maybe we can chat about it more in detail and talk about it and talk about, whether it's ticket prices, sponsorship opportunities, things like that will help this event move along. I'd love to have you back, Reva. So hopefully
I
you
would
do
love
that.
it. And if you have a venue that you want to, or an event, some sort of booth that you want to come out, and it has to be Western oriented, please give me a call. We have 2 food vendors coming in. One will be rodeo, and the other one, we're hoping corporate says yes, will be Pizza Hut coming on board this
Nice.
year as a sponsor. And I'm going to give Pizza Hut a shout out whether anyone likes it or not. The manager is 20 years old and a former key clubber and working
Oh, yeah.
extremely hard to win Manager of the Year this year or next year, and wants to work with this community. She is totally dedicated to serving her community and helping wherever she can, and she's looking forward to coming on board as at the rodeo and serving food for them.
Nice. So some of these, rodeo themed vendors, they can get in touch with you to see about possibly becoming
Yes.
a sponsor / maybe vendor, or some kind of opportunity. They might be able to reach you at your number here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And space is limited, so please, even though it's not till February, give me a shout out now and say, I'm interested, and I can put your name on a list, and then we'll work that out, who's going to get a spot and who's not.
Okay. So that number that they can call to reach you, Reva, is 775-727-0911.
Yes, and if I'm not home, please leave a message. It may take me a few days to get back to you, but I will get back to you.
Yeah. And the other event that's coming up a little bit closer, I know we did a podcast about this before, and it's Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And I know, kind of like Sharon and I, you come alongside this organization, have been a big believer in helping them out, because they're the ones that are putting together the beds for the folks in our community that don't have a bed. And just want to thank you for the stuff that you do for that organization as well. I know it's hard. You wear a lot of hats, and that's one of them. That's one of the ways I really met you, and then through you met Carmen and them, and it's been a pleasure so far.
Thank you, and I do like working with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. We're mandated to learn how to build beds. I've been with them 3 years. I cannot build a bed. I will not even attempt. I can stain,
Yeah.
but woodworking is not my forte. I will do anything else she wants. I will raise money for her. I'll do promotions for her. Don't ask me to put a bed together, because the child will fall on the floor.
Well, luckily she's got Jim, and she's got Steve, and other guys that kind of come along, and they wear those hats. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
so again, just wanted to let our community, let our listeners know the best way to get a hold of you, Reva, if they want to plug in. If you want to give that number one more time, and then we'll have another impromptu announcement here right after that.
775-727-0911. And it's ironic to have a 0911 number if you know me. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
yes.
a New Yorker, and my husband's a retired cop, and that definitely makes sense to give me a 0911 number.
And that's another, wow, got to have you and my wife Sharon in the studio together, because the way that you can call it fate, I call it divine intervention, that kind of made our paths cross together, just over shared experience, shared geography, then somehow meeting up thousands of miles away in a community like Pahrump is, that's probably something for a whole nother show that we'll get into with that.
Yeah, and we thank Sharon every day of our lives for serving food and getting him through that part of his life. But
Yeah.
it was a blessing, and I'm happy to know that she's now part of my life. And officially, we know who she is, not behind closed doors.
Exactly,
so.
right? Yeah, likewise. And that brings us to our probably last announcement before we bring our interview to a close. So I know it was kind of in the books for you sort of to iron it out, but we'll kind of make it official that we're trying to put together, and we are putting together on January 19th, that's the third Thursday in January, a community meeting that's going to be held actually here in the Bell Bonds office / DJ Sound Studio. So all those in our area are welcome to attend who want to kind of plug into the community here. It's going to be at 6 p.m. here at 41 North Highway 160, unit number 5 at 6 p.m. That again is January 19th. Do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about what goes on at these meetings? We've had a few here in the past, and I think they're really fruitful.
So each group gets to present what they're doing on their own, and we try and put a calendar together so we don't step on each other's feet. They also have the opportunity of saying what they need help in. And we had a couple of social workers at the last meeting, and opened everyone's eyes of what the school is in need of. So
Yeah.
it's good meeting. It's good groups coming together to work together for the community, especially for the children here. And I promise the social workers will be back at this meeting, whether they like it or not, they'll be here. So if you are involved or you want to know about Pahrump, please join us. For those that I see on Facebook that complain constantly about Pahrump, and there's nothing to do, or this is wrong with the Pahrump, this is the place to come and hear the positive stuff that is going on within our communities. And it's not only nonprofits, we have other groups showing up. So please, if you're new to Pahrump and want to know what's going on, or you're tired of hearing Pahrump has nothing to do with the negative stuff, please come to this meeting and hear what's going on, and it's all positive and good. And I thank Matt for lending us his office that day, and I look forward to having another meeting with my group and hearing what's going on and improving the way of life for our children here. Yeah,
you won't regret it if you come by. You can actually reach out to Reva at her number. You can also call me on the show's number, 775-382-2516. You can also text that number if you want to just let me know that you're coming. You can have like a preliminary head count of some folks that might be in here. There'll probably be some refreshments, some snacks provided to keep you hanging around. So it'll be good on all kinds of fronts. I want to just thank you, Reva, again for coming by. Thank you, listeners, for sticking with us here at the Nevada Patriot Podcast. We're looking forward to touching base with you again, Reva, and hearing about all the great things that are going on in our community, because I think so often we get bogged down by the bad stuff, but there's just a trove of good things and encouraging things going on. And proud to know you, happy to know you, and thank you. I wish there was more Revas in our community. It would be even better to live here.
On our end, we wish there were more Matt and Sharon's, and we thank you for your support and every effort. Everything I do, I know Matt and Sharon are behind us, so thank you both for all your support and all the love you give us.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Nevada Patriot Podcast with Matt Sadler. Until next time, God bless.
Yay.
You've just spent some of the best minutes of your life hanging out with Matt Sadler at the Nevada Patriot Podcast. Thank you for listening. Tell a friend and join us next time. After you catch your breath, check out the NevadaPatriot.com for more content, advertising opportunities, and to give listener feedback. That website again is the NevadaPatriot.com. Until next time, Patriots, stay American.